Aaron, I want to ask how you look at the performance of the secondary so far this year. What can you take from it, and what has stood out to you?
So far, everything has been. We've been harping on a lot of technique and really just trying to finish through balls, you know, finishing through plays, hustling to the ball. But everything that stood out to me so far has been really just us as a group hustling and probably taking on receivers, taking on challenges a little more, taking everything more personal this season. So that stood out to me so far.
Hey, Rob, could you specifically talk about Antoine Collier and the aggressiveness that he plays with? I know in week 1 against Georgia Tech, he was fighting through a bit of an arm injury during that game, but he was still going in there looking to blow people up. And then against ECU, he forces a fumble, and it seems like he always wants to hit somebody really, really hard. And I just wonder what your thoughts are on his style of play.
And Antoine's a great dude. He has his moments where he kind of just goes in there and try to make whatever he can make happen. But at the end of the day, man, he's a soldier to me and the rest of the group, also the coaching staff. He's never not trying to play the game of football and never not trying to go out there and help the team best way he can. So, him fighting through his injuries, everything else just shows us that he's a soldier and ready to go out there and fight with the rest of us. I respect.
Aaron, can you talk a little bit about these young corners that are seeing a lot of action? Obviously, Corey Thornton's been playing a huge role. He got here in spring, and last week Justin Hodges, Devontae Brown saw a lot of reps against ECU. What have you been seeing from these freshman corners that have been asked to contribute a lot?
When it's time to step up, it's time to step up. When your number's called, you got to go out there and make the best of your opportunity. And I've just seen the young guys go out there and not be so clouded in the head, and no, none of them are panicking. Everyone's pretty ongoing with whatever the coach is asking them to do, and they're contributing pretty well so far. So good.
And how much with everything that's gone on over the last 6 or 7 months, how special is this season? How special is it to be able to play football?
Honestly, everyone had their second thoughts on whether we were going to have a season or not. I'm pretty sure the whole nation has had those same thoughts, but being able to just go out there with your brothers and fight, play the game you love, it's a true honor and a blessing, especially, to suit up with your guys and to kind of just represent the university. So it's definitely been an honor and an opportunity I haven't wanted to take for granted. So.
Hey, Rob, you were obviously outstanding last year, got a lot of acclaim from different national outlets for your play last year. Now as a senior, what do you personally want to prove to yourself this year or prove to others this year? What are you kind of carrying as maybe the chip on your shoulder?
Really the same chip I carried last season. I kind of took the approach different, never rushing into things, never overthinking anything, kind of just soaking everything up and going about it that way, trying to focus in a little harder every week, and better my game each and every week. So just taking the approach different, same chip.
You guys have had to go on the road for your first 2 games, but obviously you're back at home this week against Tulsa. How much are you looking forward to playing your first game in the Bounce House? And obviously we know how last year's Tulsa game went in Tulsa. Is this an opponent you guys have especially been looking forward to?
We look forward to every week, every opponent, take it week by week. And, last year was a pretty upsetting game, the ending to that game. But, we looked past it, we learned from it, and we just taking a different approach like we do every other week, trying to go 1-0.
Hey, Rob, you look at Dylan Gabriel, how he's gone from year 1 to year 2. What stood out to you about how he's changed maybe in the second year in the offense?
Really, his approach last year, him having to step up as a freshman. He's a great leader. he treats those guys with much respect as he do anyone else who's out there on the field with him. And he's kind of just bringing those guys along, and yeah, his character is uplifting. He uplifts the defense from the D line to the secondary during the game. So his leadership approach is definitely one that I recognize and respect the most.
Hey, Rob, I know you've got a lot of returning veterans on defense, but you got some younger players contributing as well. What's been the biggest surprise to you in terms of maybe who's really stepped up for the defense so far after 2 games?
Really, honestly, I feel like it all works together from the D line to the secondary. Every group kind of emphasizes a certain thing each week, or what they want to come into the week with, and they kind of just work on that and work through that through the week all the way up into game day. So I feel like us as a group, everything, it's always room for improvement, but everyone stands out to me when we're on the field. We all work together and make it up.
Aaron, Coach Martinez told us during the preseason how Brandon Moore, even though he can't be on the field right now, has really been kind of a coach to the younger DBs on the sidelines during practices. What have you seen from Brandon when he's not, in practice? How is he coaching up those young guys? And then also, when do you think B. Moore is going to be back on the field?
Brandon, man. B. Moore, he's always the energetic one, man. Even though he's not out there with us, he's definitely out there with us because you always hear him coaching up the young guys, coaching up the vets. He lets us know what he sees on the field from a coaching perspective, and lets us know what we can work on, and kind of just give us our keys and let us know what to look forward to and what to expect when we're out there. But his energy is definitely one that keeps everyone going, and whether we making good plays, bad plays, whatever it is, he's uplifting everyone and keeping us in the game, keeping our heads up.